All right, we're here with Head Coach Steve Garland from UVA. How you feeling today, Coach?
Good, man. Good.
So, got a big week coming up. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Let's take a look back and kind of see how the season's gone so far. You guys have had a couple hurdles to get over this year.
Yeah, a lot of adversity. I mean, we're 7-2 right now. And I'll be honest with you, in 24 years of doing this, I've said this a lot of late. I don't think I've ever experienced that much flurry of injuries and serious injuries in a short amount of time. We had about a 3-week span where we lost a lot of guys, and it wasn't, it was depth. It was layers of it, and it just kept coming and coming and coming and coming, and things. So a lot of things you can't control, things that were kind of freaky, and so yeah. So I'm really proud of the fact that the team hung together, the staff battled, and our support staff. I mean, everybody did whatever they could. Our team, but especially praise to my guys. I mean, we had guys stepping up, bumping up weight classes, but going down. I mean, we had guys going down. We did everything we possibly could. We had guys who were ripping off the couch and throwing them in the van the day of the competition who had no idea they were going to be competing because we had that. It was that crazy with the injuries and illness that we experienced, and so. To all to be said, to see it all come together this past weekend when we had guys back, when we wrestled really well. It's probably the best we've looked all season. It was great. It was big for morale, number one, and it was also big for momentum heading into a match against a team like Virginia Tech, who in my opinion is one of the toughest teams in the country.
So last weekend, between the two duels, you had 9 of your 10 established starters coming back, and we talked briefly off camera about potentially having your final starter 84 after having lost 3 starters there this year.
Yeah.
May have one of those back for later in the season as well. So I guess give us some highlights of what you saw in the duels against Duke and American. What stood out to you from the guys who have been there and who are just coming back.
Well, I'll start from lower end. And first of all, a guy like Jack Geoffrey coming back, who Jack's just such a competitor, arguably our most competitive, mean rattlesnake. Just, I mean, wants to win and wants to score points. Wants to do it. He's just a total winner type guy. To have him back in there and then see how he wrestled. He got a tech fall, and it's the way he competes, right? And then at 49, his twin brother, who's tougher than nails, him coming back. He's battling all year with stuff, and for him to be back in there was huge. And so I keep using the morale. There's something about when you have those two in that it raises the game of everybody else. And then Cedeno was back, and he's had a very good year for us, and he got 2 technical falls this weekend. And again, the score and the points. It's the way they wrestle, not just that they win. It's the way they win. 65, Hamilton, huge. He's been gone for forever, it seems like. He's been out forever, and now he's back in and looked awesome and didn't look like he hadn't skipped a beat. And again, that just lifts everybody. And then 97, I think the biggest story of the weekend, in my opinion, I was going to say biggest story. I should say the most underrated guy on our team is Christian Kinsey. Christian Kinsey is 9-0 since somewhere in December, whatever. I don't even know when. Somewhere in December when he finally got healthy, because he was hurt at the beginning of the year too. To see what he's been doing and the way he competed, he got 2 technical falls and was lighting the scoreboard up with some beautiful takedowns. So we're really excited for our fans to see him compete at 197 this weekend.
So this is his first year at 97, correct? He was
Correct,
at 84
yeah.
previously. He's put on between him and Cedeno, somebody's doing something right in the weight room.
Yeah,
those two both put on a lot of size.
Yeah, so Kinsey, I recruited him as a 57-65.
Seriously?
I swear. He's a tall, skinny kid.
He's a large
North
human
Carolina. And came in, he was our last slot guy, and I took a chance on him because I really loved his film, and I loved when I met his mom and his sister when he came on a visit, and look, man, what a cool story. Talk about making anybody that's really tight with our program. If Kinsey can continue to do what we think he's capable of, it'll make everybody's year because he's such a great kid. He's an awesome, awesome kid.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that
Yeah.
outside of the mat as well. So speaking of large humans, Ryan Katka has filled in quite nicely at heavyweight for you.
Yeah, so Ryan had a big weekend. He had a brawl with that Duke kid. That Duke kid's tough, man.
Yeah, any Tom Erickson heavyweight is going to be
Yeah.
good. And Tom is one of the underrated heavyweight coaches in the country.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool for him to get through that. And then he looked the best he's looked all season against the American guy who's really good too. And that guy's got a top 10 win this year. So Ryan beating him and the way he beat him was big, really big. And I think it lifted him up heading into a very crazy situation with him wrestling his brother. And I actually just talked to him before he did his individual this morning. I said, listen, I had to wrestle my twin brother. Trent and Travis, my assistant coaches, both wrestled in the World Team Trials finals to make the World Team. So you can't get any higher level than that. So if anybody's weirdly enough, if anybody knows what he's going through, we do.
That's funny. I was down in Blacksburg last week and watched Hunter And I asked him, I said, "Are you ready for next week? Are you going to wrestle your brother?" I said, "Yeah, I guess."
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird on both sides.
Last week too. Yeah.
He seems to be figuring it out, and I think that's kind of scary for the ACC, to be quite honest, because they're both very massive human beings.
Yeah.
With a lot of potential.
Pretty athletic too.
Yeah. Yep. So let's kind of hit back on brothers now that we're talking about the Katkas. Geoffreys are both doing great for you. Do they talk about their other brother, who's also currently, I believe, ranked now, Logan down in Missouri?
Yeah. No, we know his older brother well. We wanted him here. As a matter of fact, we went really far down the recruiting trail with him, and I got to be careful what I say. Let's just say I didn't get the help we thought we'd get from admissions.
Understood.
Yeah, and so we lost it. But he's an awesome. I would love to have him here. Yeah, we have all three of them. It's just a real competitive family.
Yeah, I get that impression. So let's fast forward to Friday. You're going to have a tough matchup, in-state rivalry against Tech. What's special about it this year, hosting it back at JPJ?
Well, so the first thing is the atmosphere. We want these guys to be able to have the experience. I don't want to say deserve, because I hate using the word deserve, but as hard as these guys work, everything they do, we want them to be in that environment where it's like Jack Mueller. It's one of his favorite memories from when he was time here. JLO just did an interview and got released today about his experience wrestling there. We want them to have that, and it's awesome. We just did a tour of the logistical stuff yesterday, and just the beautiful locker room and the lights, and they're going to do the smoke and coming through the tunnel in the spotlight, and hopefully thousands of fans. That's what we want. And we're trying to also, the second thing is not just for the individual athlete, but for our program, we want to build that brand where people, when they come to a wrestling match, like, wow, that was an experience. Even the casual fan, he's going to want to come back. She's going to want to come back. The family's going to want to come back. And JPJ helps us build that.
So I would say I've been in Charlottesville 10 years now. Probably two of my top 3 memories of watching your duels have been at JPJ.
Oh, really?
With Ohio State coming in, was a really cool atmosphere. Wasn't a great day for you guys.
Yeah. They were pretty good that year. I think they won the national title that year.
Yeah, they were all right. They were all right. And then 2 years ago, yeah, when Tech came down, was my first pseudo-official job doing media. So it was just an interesting experience for me. The other one was Maryland here in 2011, just because it was an awesome duel.
That was a crazy match. I can't believe you remember that.
That was a
they
fun
were 12-0
yeah,
going
that
in
was
that.
a fun
We beat
one.
them.
Yep. That was right after I left from up there.
I can't believe you remember that. That's awesome.
So those are fun ones. I think JPJ is a pretty fantastic environment. I'm looking forward to being there. I know that there's going to be a good crowd. Last I heard, almost all the mat side seats had sold out already.
Yeah.
And general admission sales were pretty good as well. So I guess, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm excited about on Friday. What are you excited about matchup wise? There's going to be some interesting ones.
Oh yeah. So first of all, right off the bat, the most premier one, I would think, the easiest one, low hanging fruit, is 174. You got a national champion. Juddy gets to wrestle a national champion, and what a gift. I said this yesterday in my interview with Jeff White. It's like, when you have opportunities like that, they're gifts. And what do you do with a gift? You cherish them. You enjoy them. It's awesome, and so that's big. Kinsey getting a chance to wrestle, a ranked guy and healthy. We're excited about that. Both Geoffrey's huge challenges with nationally ranked guys that are hot right now, and what a great opportunity for them. So up and down the lineup, I think every guy in the roster, every guy in their starting lineup is ranked with the exception of one weight. And so all these guys have incredible opportunities, and we're the underdog, and I think that gives us even more freedom to compete in such a way, as we say in our pillars. That's the goal. That's what we want to see. And so I'm thinking about what I'm going to say to these guys tomorrow, and there's not a lot to be said, because everyone knows what type of match this is for us, and how exciting it is, and so what do you do with that? Well, that should free you up to wrestle even better, not the other way around. Like somebody asked me recently, I was not doing an NBC thing, and they said, well, what would have been like for you if you would have got to wrestle in that environment? Now, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask, because I was a show pony, right? But I'm like, are you kidding? I mean, I would have lost my mind, It's like, guys, this is so awesome. Like, I'm serious. I better see guys wrestling out of their world, where they win or lose, this weekend. So, and the rest of the way, the rest of the ACC. Sorry, I'm getting excited. The ACC is amazing. Every weight class, right? And so every guy, every weekend, what a cool, and ACC Network, and it's on TV now. It's like, this is the cool stuff. What we've been doing all this whole year is grinding, crazy Midlands and this, and guys' arms are falling off. Now we get to wrestle. The fun duels, Friday night duels. Every match matters. Every match counts. Can't get any better than that. And there's only 4 left before the big dance, right? So it's like, Okay, that's easy. That's nothing. 4 matches. Like everyone should be like, there should never be a frown. I should never see a dirty face in that wrestling room. I don't know why. That just hit me like a ton of bricks. But.
I think it's gonna be hard to top that. So let's end it on that, Steve. I think that's fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you guys out on Friday. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, sorry.